Well, hello to a long wave video. I like to say I was in the middle of recording this and it messed up. So I'm gonna post the first one, probably on like my Patreon. I have one, it's free. Um, but that's where the first one's gonna go. Um, just because like I would like to use it for something because I spend a lot of time actually on it. Um, somewhat. I don't know if it was accurate, but I think this recording gonna be better because that one I was seeing blue. But that's that point. Welcome to a long way video where I talk about my series, about how I write copy nurture, nurturing nature. So I haven't really wrote about it in a while, right? For a lot of reasons. But just one of them is I've been down the dumps as per usual. But I'm feeling better now, actually, like way better. Not way better, but like I feel better, and less anxious. So, I'm recording. Um, but there's one that I want to mention. So the first time I fully recorded this, like the first edition of this, had me going over everything, using one of these other characters that I had. But then I realized, when I was about to record it again, I was like, actually, no, that doesn't spoil the series. Uh, so I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna give you a little bit of like a tour about it. So you can already tell that I'm writing one right here. Um, so what happened was I was recording my scene and it messed up, like halfway through, I think, and I just wasn't sure. But this time I'm making sure that it won't. Um, but just give characters names so far for multiple reasons, but one of them is I like them to be significant. These characters have races and really don't have genders. Like they have, like I think the three main characters have a gender, but like outside of that, they don't have gender. Like this side character, yeah, I just use he just because, but it could be a girl. I don't like it doesn't really affect the story from my perspective. Um, but I just use he a bunch. Are there. Like those are the two I really use. Um, but to get back to the point, um, so I don't really give character names. I also don't like know their race or anything. I want to be like closely significant, but also not racist or like weird. So like I think in most medias when you have like an Asian American, they're named John. And like I don't want to make one of these characters named John, and then like I think they're gonna be Asian because I just feel like that's like the basic one to go with if you're writing a Asian American, just Asian American in general. Um, but there's only one character that I have like a race and gender for 100% head around. It's this one. They're black and male, but like everything else about it is weird. And because of that, I was like, you know what? Because I typically use the he, me, he, him, and male pronouns. Okay, I don't know why I'm stuttering over that. Because I typically use male pronouns or non-binary pronouns when I'm writing. Um, and what I decided to do is like, if I'm gonna make a character and have an idea for them, I'm just gonna put like their trait. So, sex, guy, race, Chinese, age 23. Like, this was just some random thing I put together. And because I was like, I'll just make him a guy. But this is extra characters that I'm working on that might appear in the story. So I don't have to worry about spoiling it. As a matter of fact, this one was going to be the original one that I was working on and was going to show y'all. But um, I realized I actually like the character concept, so I'm not going to. But so to get back to like how I write about the story and whatnot, the first thing I do is put down, okay, what is the character's point of view? And this required me to think about it. So this character I wanted to have a point of view dealing with like music and whatnot, and mostly focusing on like the writing part of music, not the writing part, the composition of music. So like the beat, the tempo, the rhythm, right? Versus more like this writing element is really good. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, that could be another character. Or, it could synchronize with uh side character here. So he like I like doing that. Um, so I was thinking about that, and then I got okay, what can I take inspiration from for the ability, right? Um, let me actually put this in quotation marks. But so I went through like I like making references to stuff in my works and whatnot, and just because it helps me when it comes to creative thinking. As you can see here, Bogo Stray works, right? That's a reference to Bogo Stray Dogs. Now, why do I use Bogo? Literary work, meaning literary in Japanese. So let's literally translate to literary works. It's a question mark. I'm not sure if it's good name or not, but I like it. Like it might change from Bogo to literary. But one thing I do know is like if I make a Japanese version or a Japanese translate, I'm gonna specialize. But like Bogo has to be here because Japanese have different words for stuff. But I'm like literary words will translate to Bogo, whatever works is in Japanese. Um, but yeah, so like I definitely make a reference to stuff in there. So I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, what's a movie that I think works well with this, or something that I think works well with this? That where I met it, Whisper of the Heart. One is one of my favorite movies. I just downright like it, but also I think it's very works because both of these characters have stuff to do with music, as you can this cover right here. I finally loaded it up, but both of these characters have stuff to do with music. His thing is that he can make violins and also play them, and then hers is that she's currently writing a rendition of Country Road, which by the way, my favorite version of Country Road, both the Japanese one and the one they sing in English. I just love this. It's a really good song. Um, but yeah, so I was like, okay, I'll use something with this. The first two options I came up with was a whisper of the rhythm and then a rhythm of the heart or beat of the heart. And I decided to go with rhythm and whisper of the rhythm because I think that sounds cooler. Now that I think about it, beat of the heart also sounds really cool. So I'm gonna make a note saying beat of the heart also works. Because once again, if I decide to make another character to go along with it, but exploring more like the actual meaning behind the songs versus just it at face value, a whisper of the rhythm would probably be good for them. Heart can be used. Um, So that's like a thing that I might hit on because it could be used for that. Also because of the fact that if I do want these two characters synergy, I can make their synergy be called Whisper of the Rhythm or something like that, where it's like a reference to something and it doesn't really matter what the ability is called, more about what the ability is. So then typically I like to have typically I like to have three different abilities for every character to use. I think make it like a pretty wide mindset to use, and some of them are more complex than others. But like generally speaking, I think three abilities is like the bare minimum I will always strive for. At least when it comes to like the abhorrent, like really abhorrent characters. Because of the fact that I think the way I have the ability set up is like it sprout more as the story go on, where it's less like oh you get one ability then another ability then another ability, and more it's like oh so I have this ability and this ability I learned and then this ability, and then these drive off into many different aspects, and many different uses that I can figure out how to use, and this is good for story perspective because one, it doesn't mean that I have to make a new ability every day. Secondly, because of the fact that it means that like I'm not fully restricted on like ability names. I don't have to come up with an ability name every time a character A pull out like a, a mega move. I want to like a basic art thing. I'm just gonna go like raw. But like I don't worry about like oh character A uses ability that isn't like a new ability. It's based on another one. What do I call it? I can just be like Yeah, so character A uses this ability, which is like electricity, in this manner, and it still works because it's the basic ability is electricity. So making it into a sound wave is just him taking the fact that stereo, like just conceptualizing the concept of of a stereo. Yeah, let's go with that. It's just him. Oh my God, I have no clue. Y'all been looking at that for a while. My bad. Y'all been looking at Whisper of the Heart. Uh, for a bit. Um, I'm not used to having to constantly switch the thing, but um, just to showcase what I did once again, just in case I didn't, because I'm not re-recording that entire thing. Um, this I just put a note for this. That's pretty much it, and then everything else you didn't need to see the screen for. Like you truly did not need to see the screen for anything else. Outside just me highlighting that. Um, But yeah, so I typically try to keep to that many abilities and whatnot. Because it also is good for like the story perspectives about like people point of views and whatnot. So I think that like yeah, this works well with my idea. Like you can change your point of view with to the core concept. So like you can change it in alternate ways, but then like you can evolve it to which I think worked very well with the entire thing of the story. But moving on, so I was working on this ability, right? And then I had to think of some cool names, and I was like, okay, what is this ability evolves around? And I was like, I want it to be like you can keep with the tip, like it works based on the tempo and the beat of something. So like take for instance, if I was writing this right now and I was typing it out, um, and the way that it works is like I was typing in a tempo like dun dun dun, let's say 140. I don't know how tempo works. Let's say I was typing a really fast tempo, right? Um, like I'm really bad with tempo, but like a fast tempo, I can use my the ability to make the tempo go that fast. But let's just say I was using it and I was fighting someone instead, and they had beat that go bum 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 when they throw a punch and whatnot. Great. I can either one copy there, go bum 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 bum, or two was to say some character in the background having a beat on his beat being like bum 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 bum. I can mimic that when it comes to my fighting style. So when I like throw punches and duck and whatnot, like each movement like bum 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 bum. Y'all can't see me right now. I forgot. Each movie like bum 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 bum, like it can match with it. So you, because of the fact that it's fluid too, you can increase the tempo. Like it increase like it going faster and faster. Then you go faster and faster because you're matching up with it. Um, which I think is really cool. And so I came up with like okay, so beat and tempo had to be in there because at first I was gonna go with rhythm, but then I realized rhythm isn't really what I'm describing as far as I'm aware. Rhythm might work. I'm not 100% sure. Um, but like I think that's a good name. You know, I was like, okay, so let me go with tempo instead. Um, so because of that, I went okay, bum 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 bum. Yeah, brain getting confused, trying to multitask. Um, so like got me like okay, uh, I'm just going to figure out a cool name for it, and that way I came up with the name, temporal beats. I have no significance whatsoever. Uh, I don't think it's a reference or anything. Maybe there is. That was just like, oh, this sounds cool. Um, so that's why I went with. Uh, so yeah. Um, I kind of got the art thing set up at the same time. So if I describe something, it can go well. So now it comes down to writing what it's about. Uh, typically I like include some type of connection sentence. So like maybe a comma or a semicolon. Typically I've been using semicolons a lot, so uh, this ability or by matching. I don't ask for matching. I don't really care about spelling as long as it's close to what I need it to be. That way, if other people read, they can understand. But like personally, I know what I'm talking about most of the time. That way you see like spelling errors like character, where it's like, yeah, I could have done like this is old. I've been on this like a couple of times since then. I could have easily just fixed that, but like I don't care. Or like some things I just don't fix because I think they are worded better. Um, so like here, for example, right? It was supposed to be used, but like mainly used as versus used. Um, so I just don't change it at times. Also, fun thing that you can do with docs is that you can set it up so you can mark here. Also, story beats. I know I see it. I am not working on this at all. I realized I had like a burst of motivation and then immediately I sat down, tried, and I was like, this is overwhelming. Um, for literally no reason. So I did it. Um, but you can like this is the point, and then you know, like yeah, is that story spelled wrong? Yeah, but like if you clicked on this and you start reading it, you can be like, oh, I know what this is about. Like this is the story beat of what it is. Am I correcting it? Yes. Did I spell it wrong again? I'm 95% sure I did. But do I care? No. Um, but let's continue, right? So this ability works by let's go with mimicry. No, let's go with mimicking the beats in tempo of things in things. No, I did okay. Things that are around them. Um, but the but the user must be able. That's not able. I don't like the ability. I use the ability a lot. Must be able to find the beat and tempo first. I wasn't gonna include downside at first, but then I realized, this could be a cool, like a boring thing where he has to keep the tempo and whatnot. So let's just say, he's all the blue. There's no one around him. Let's just say this is, uh, let me do a better drawing. Oh, this is just painfully small. Let me just undo it all. So let's just say this is the character in question, right? And he's in the fight with. I don't think I can change color, can I? Yes, I can. He's in a fight with character uh GA. Let's call him J, and let's call him B because B, right? And this character is like trying to fight him, but he's too fast. Like he's running circles around this man, right? But there's like a beat to it. but he's too fast to figure out the beat. And let's say the beat is like bum 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 bum. Like that's how he attacks. So bum 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 bum. Okay, so yeah, the needle. Bum 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 bum. Let's say that's it. It's not a good beat, but still, you can tell that midway down, like, oh wait, this is like the Wii thing. But let's say that's a beat, like, go bum bum or bum 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 bum, right? Um, but this character he just can't figure it out, right? So he has to just keep up with his own thing and do his own thing to match it. Um, Meaning that he won't be able to do it. So was like he's too fast for him to hit, and he won't be able to increase his speed because he can't figure out the tempo. But let's just say he was able to, he would be able to keep up with the beat and match the tempo set. So it would be like instead of him worrying about getting hit, he could just counter it or go similar speed. As he'd be able to counter it because of the fact that he knows it's there, right? These lines are counterpoints. But let's go with a different possibility, right? Let's say they are fighting, but he's going at a tap pattern, tempo like dun 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 dun. So it's one every second, like attack, 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 right? But he can't figure out the tempo. What he could do is, let's say there's some birds flying by, and they're going, like you see one every second because they're migrating. So let's go with that. Um, if he can visualize a tempo to that, being like, oh, so it's going one every second, the birds are like attack, 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 attack. He can then use that to counter. So he will be going the same pace as him. Of course, it'd be a lot harder because he doesn't know like the tempo, but he can still do it. I'm thinking of another downside being the fact that he also it has to be going on for a decent bit. So let's say he attacks this character, right? Let's say he had the attack happen in let's go with one center where it's 5 seconds. Uh, there, that should be understandable. 5 seconds, and then one scenario was under 1 second, right? Um, if that 1 second scenario, if he literally just attacked once, you can't copy that beat or rhythm because it's just a singular attack. But in that 5 seconds, let's say he attacked 3 times, well then you have a template. Go attack, wait a second, attack, wait a second, or bum, bum. In other words, hit the drum, rest. That's not a quarter rest, but still hit the drum, quarter rest, something like that, right? So that's another downside that I'm gonna put in there. So because of the fact that I thought that, I go back to this and be like, you might be on the tempo and beat first. Um, Also, there has has to be time to set to set up a beat or tempo. Normally, I would have a designated time like 5 seconds or whatnot, but for now, let's go with 5. Um, so let's go with this make it so the user has to wait at least 5 seconds sec. And then let's say I'm not confident about this. Normally I just don't. I just keep going. Like, okay, wait, no, let me get this as good as possible. But let's say in this scenario I'm not. I might make a note being like, this can be changed. Boom. That's pretty much it. Like, okay. So we have the first ability. So what? So we have the basic of the ability, but what are some applications of it? So let's go back to my drawing scenario. Let's go. So yeah, character A, character B, and character. Let's go character C. Right? You have a tempo why not already set up, but instead of the user matching his tempo, so let's say his tempo go at one. No, forgot to change color. I forgot what color I used, but let's go with MSS. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh, quarter rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then let's say there is. So this character can match it, right? He was black, so let me actually change the color for once. So character B can match it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter S. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? He can match it. But then let's just say there's, I don't know, um he can hear his heartbeat, right? Uh or character B just know his heartbeat. Like he has a watch on that tells his heartbeat. It's 140 beats per second because I think that's like a normal amount. He could, use it to match himself, or instead he could use it to match character C. So character C could be matching with a beat of 140 beats per second. I don't think that would be work, but let's just say it is for the sake of argument. I think that'd be more along the lines of tempo, be like bum 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 bum. But that's just one. This character, let's say he uses his feet to attack. He can now be able to run around and attack him at that beat. So he could move and attack at that beat of bum 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 bum, or 140 beats per second. That does not look like an S. There you go, per second. So that's another cool mechanic. So we can put it in there that he can also have other people impacted by his ability. So let's do that because that is a cool method. And it also works well with synergy. One of the things that I actually do a lot is make these abilities very synergetic. So while some abilities are just like oh, it only works by itself, other abilities are like, no, it mainly used for itself, but then you could see how, like, in the story, you could compare, like, make a squad of these people. Because, like, oh yeah, this one ability normally does work by itself, but then you have this person who amplified this ability because their personalities and point of view are similar. Then you have this person who is the person who can counter what is able to counter what they can do. Like you get the point. Or just something like this where like, oh no, you can see how this character could be like a character who just go on any squad team because of the fact that it's like, yeah, he can do it by himself, but then he can also have other people boost it and help with him. So let's go with, and this ability can be used on other people as long as they're in a range. Yeah, let's go with range. Uh, let's go with 10 meters. I was thinking about 10 feet because I'm American, but 10 meters seem pretty big. But this one allows me for like one it make it so that like if a character seems like they're going at a certain pace in the fight, you could theorize, hey, this character nearby, and then that means that I can make a story point where this character is nearby. Secondly, it helps give me a range of fighting to deal with. So like take for instance, let's say he's fighting a sniper, right? And the snipers within like okay in my mind there's like a gap in between, let's say this is a real building, right? Let's just say this is a New York Times building, New York Times, and let's say this is they're on the Empire State Building, MP building, right? This is a like those are two, actually I don't know if this is a real building. I'm gonna put a question mark because I'm not sure if that's real or not. But these are like two real buildings, so I could figure out, okay, would this ability be able to work on this sniper right here? And it also helps for the reader to understand the radius of his ability, because now it's like, okay, he was able to affect this character, meaning that they can't be that far, but then his partner he couldn't affect, meaning that he has to be a significant distance away. Let me just check. Yeah, okay, still recording. Um, which means like it helps when it comes to that. Now 10 feet is better, so I'm gonna put note being like 10 feet might also work because 10 meters is a really good like big radius. At least in my mind, like that is maybe too big. So I'm like can be smaller. Normally, I don't have as many notes as you can see because if there just aren't that many notes, you can literally see the three notes I made. But sometimes I do have this many notes. It's just that I go back and edit to be like, no, I think this is good. Or because of that most of the time I am just writing it. Like I'm like just okay, gonna hope this is like what it's gonna be. Um, Also because of the fact that I didn't specify if it's willingly or not, it could lead to like a question of, hey, if he's fighting this guy, uh, can he make it so that he had to keep to his tempo? Which is a very good thing in a fight. Like if a character had, I mean, if you're fighting someone and you know like the exact pace and you can time out when they're going to attack, you can use it. So like right here, you know he's not gonna attack right there, so you can attack right here. Like you know he's attacking from right there. Okay, now it's like which side, but like you already know half of it. It's one of the reasons why like you play Dark Souls. Dark Souls actually have a very heavy like you can match the attacks to the music. But also if you like just learn the okay, so this Elder Scroll boss attack every like have a second, so their attack is bum bum or bum bum bum, right? And then they go for a rest of 5 seconds. That's a beat like bum 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 bum. I'm not gonna actually stop timing 5 seconds, but you get my point. So it's a very good ability to be able to use both offensively, defensively, and also just in general. Like, oh yeah, I can type at the beat of my heartbeat now because I know it. Um, it's also why I specified they didn't have to be able to hear it. You just had to be able to like know it because like sometimes hearing a beat is harder than just knowing the beat. So like if you ask me to like hear the beat to like a song like my heartbeat, that's gonna be kind of hard. But like you ask me like what's my heartbeat, I just looked at my watch. That's significantly easier. Um, so let's go back to this. Uh, Hopefully I did change it. I'm pretty sure I've been changing it, but I'm just gonna give y'all a second to look at this. And yeah, keep in mind, most time I'm like a little bit faster with this because of the fact that I'm not switching to other tabs. And this is only like a 30-minute record. Well, I am switching between tabs, but like this not like oh I'm drawing out what I'm thinking. Um, and then when you think about it, and like okay, this makes sense. So let's go with this. But yeah, like it took me like 30 minutes to come up with the first ability, and also get came on this is like one I had in mind already. So like the original abilities do take me longer, but like it doesn't really take me too long depending on how much detail I think go with. But like this is a pretty good first ability, right? So then I will end it and then be like, there or I put her doesn't really matter. Their second ability is called Now Yoshi, which really like when I don't know what to do. So we already have one that covered up beat and rhythm, me being a tempo. So now let's figure out what rhythm is. So if this works, it works very well. What is it? Let me think. No, so it should have been rhythm. Yeah, no, I think tempo still works. Um, so rhythm is just like the overall thing from what it seems like. So we wouldn't really use a rhythm ability to begin with, but now we have more aspects to use. So we already have these two, so now we have meter, duration, flow, and synchronization. Uh, synchro compensation. I have no clue what that word is, but I'm gonna say synchronization. That's definitely not it. Sorry, stretching. Um, so now we go on to what we want. So meter is the organization of beats into patterns, often measured in four and well 4/4 and 3/4. The length of the individual sound or silence, so rests and notes. So let's call it meter duration, right? What is that like? That's a dumb name, but you could probably understand. It's a reference to like a meter burner. Um, actually, meter burner. Let's call it. Yeah, no. Let's call it meter bar. Actually, what is that? The thing that goes. What? All right, let's go with. Like, let's go with how. What are the chord thing name? I completely spelled name wrong because I thought I put in first. Um, I want the line. Actually, what what is the line on a music she called? I sure I call notes staff. So let's call it a meter staff. They have nothing to do with notes. But first of all, I like throwing people off putting sometimes. Like some of these abilities, they don't work in the way that you might think. Um, just for judging by the name. But then some of them, they are very literal. Like one of the moves, like this one, like uh, Chekhov gun, is a very literal move. Like it's like, no, do you know what Chekhov gun is? Yes. Then you know what it is. Um, some let's call it meter staff. This is a lot of space in between here, so I'm just gonna do one of these. It's called meter staff. The way that it works is it's a reference to fighting games right there. Once again, meter, bar, pretty obvious, meter staff. Um, but how exactly do we get it work? So we know that one of them has to do with beats and one of them go with the length of sound. So the way it works is it's a meter, right? And the more you fit into this meter, the stronger your attacks become. Um, and then the longer, like depending on how long they fit in there for, depends on how long it works. So um, let me try to visualize this for y'all, right? I'm just gonna get rid of everything because oh my goodness, this eraser sucks. So let me visualize this for you, right? In this scenario, the way this ability works is, let's say this is your sheet, right? And then the meter. The meter that is chosen is depends on the character, like what you want to do. But let's just say in this case you chose a 4 meter, um, which will actually look something like, because I'm not drawing it all the way. Da, 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 something like that. It's not exactly, but essentially it'd be these beats are 4 notes per section, and then there's 4 sections, right? So, um, the more you keep within this, the better. So yeah, you could attack like every like you could have like a really strong attack that actually lasts like all the way here for your beat, but that's not really going to boost the attack power. Versus, let's just say, countering wise, you just go boom, you fit the note within 1 and 2 and 3 and rest. Right? Let's say you fit it within there. Now the next sequence, if you follow a the same tempo, will actually do more and be more effective. So like, let's say you are shooting a gun at that rate, so uh bum like pew 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 pew, or gunshot 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 gunshot, no gunshot, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you can have like the next round, you could do like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that will work because it still follows the base. But that gunshot will be like it could be a pistol and then become like a revolver strength, right? That's one way it works. So the more you go with it, the more it works. But also counterfeitly, we can make it so that depending on how long something is, depends on the strength too. So you could have a rapid attack like this, or you could have a half or yeah, I think you call it a half rest. Let's go with that for a half rest, and then let's go with a half note. That one is going to do a lot of damage because of the fact that it's not only fitting within, like you have this first one, which give you the tempo, not tempo, the meter, and then it boosts, which boosts the next tab, I mean boosts the next part, but then also because of the fact that the boosted part waited longer for it to work. So the rest would probably be a, let's go with rest boosts your um defensive prowess. So this would be a boost to your like durability, right? Versus longer notes, let's actually make that look less terrible. Versus longer notes, which could boost your offensive ability. So your attack does more damage. Or since this one works on like attack with more damage. This one allows you to concentrate it, so it'd be more focused on that point instead of the force diminishing. So yeah, and then the way, because the fact that it's a build up of stuff, if you disrupt this beat and whatnot, it doesn't work as well. So like, let's say you messed this up, so you went for a whole note. Let me just, let's say you went for a whole note instead of a quarter note, meaning that the tempo or the what's it called, the meter actually got messed up, meaning that you will only receive a boost from this. So it's a very careful game of making sure you balance both of those. So let's go to the second. Works in two ways. I spelled two wrong. No, sometimes I do go back and fix this. Just so it looks better for me and other people, and so it can be better understood. If someone has to go read this, right? Like, let's say someone's like, "Oh, you have great potential. Let me see what story you have." This is what I can show them, and then you might, "Oh, I can understand this." The first way is if you're a tad, or no, I'm gonna put movement. Movement follows a meter, then the next I forgot what the next part is. Um, let's just go with the next part. The next bar. The next bar is more efficient. Effect. Let's go with effective, I guess. Effective. And I put, sometimes I want to know something, but I don't want to make it a different thing. I just put something like this. In the case of fighting your your next blow does more damage. Boom. It's just that simple. And then let me move on to the next part. The second way is that it if you what was it, tempo, duration, the longer duration you have, the more effective it can be. Different if is that the duration of the notes affect the effectiveness too. Yeah, let's go with give beats. Okay, why is it black? That doesn't even make sense. Whatever. Door. Oh, right, because of the fact I didn't delete it all the way. I will say that's one of the bad things about when you copy and paste. I don't know why Google had to be black. Um, but like when you copy and paste from right here, it doesn't work very well. Also, like y'all see people from AI right now. It's mainly because it works for what I need. I'm not looking to like any really big things. It's just the basics of music. Um, so anyways, at the duration, it impacts the strength. I sure. Actually, I don't know how to spell that word. I don't know how to spell it. I spelled it before. I love Google sometimes though, because like docs sometimes don't know what you're trying to spell, but Google will sometimes. Uh, sure. Or like if I can't get the word to be spelled correctly, then I can always just you know change it to be something else. So like take for instance, when I'm trying to Google something and I don't know what the word is, I have become very good at like describing the word and whatnot, or using a bunch of different methods just to get that one word. On my right here, I had to type in the misspelling and then be like build, so it can be strengthened. Means yeah, straighten the build. Um, so straighten the movement. Um, and I think the longer it is, the more com. Let's go with compact. The force become becomes. Um, but but the shorter, the more speed there is behind it. Yeah, because speed will increase the amount of force. So longer the attack, like a tick, attack is, the more, yeah. But behind it. And then we can add to it the the rest is, let's go with the longer the rest is, the longer the rest is, the more durable. I don't know that. How you spell it? Okay, that is. You, alright, let's go with they become, and the faster the rest is, the faster their reaction time become with a small boost to speed. Boom. So sometimes I have to go more detail like that, so that like if I do, okay, so let's still recording, alright. So that if something goes wrong, like if I can't figure out like what the ability does, what this impacted, it does change. And this one is more like I can't really think of how this would be applicable to like a non-competitive situation, but because I can't think of it at this moment, doesn't mean it can't. So that's why I make sure to specialize the fact that in combat this is what happens. Um, Also, I'd like to point out that most of these abilities are active abilities. Um, so let's just put this as where is it? This is a second ability. So their first ability. Let me see. So right here, I have some important things to know. Uh, so passive ability, what that is, like what happened if someone forces point of view change. It's like a point information, but mostly for me to use. Um, okay. So I don't think any of these should be 1A, the passive ability. So I'm just gonna keep it as is. Um, but yeah, so I think that's a pretty good point. Now to end the video, but like I think it's actually, you know what? Let's try to fit in these next two, right? Um, so the only thing we have left is Ascent and Synchronous. But I'm gonna be honest, as of right now, I don't really know how exactly I would put that in ability. Now that I think about it, but this doesn't mean that I can't. Like, one of the beautiful things is that like I can't think of something, but like I could always ask someone else, like, hey, what do you think about this? Like, based on what you see here, what ability would you give based on this aspect? So like someone might be like, I'm gonna sort this out. Someone might be like, oh, what I would do for asset is like if you, let's say like this is a final hit, right? The more effort you put into it, it is a exponential return. So normally this is like you get no boost, but because of accessibility, let's call it A, it is a like 5% boost because of how much more effort you put into it. But the less effort you put into it, the faster it becomes. So stronger offense, faster offense. So, well, that could be a way they could do it, but I don't know if that really works well with the rest of my abilities. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Um, can I? There. You go. That's it for today's video. I just wanted to record this. Uh, it is not the same day I wanted to record it on, but at least I got to it. But yeah. Thanks for watching it. I know this is a very long video, but like yeah, no, it's very like I put a lot of work and effort into this, and like keep in mind that this wasn't even the one that I wanted to showcase. Like this was not the first idea that I had, and this one it was like this idea was just simply, oh, I think it's fun. Like I think that'd be a fun character, but I realized I can't showcase it. Like other ones, as y'all saw as I was scrolling through it, have like way more, especially MC3. Like MC1 and 2 have a decent amount, or MC2 have a decent amount, but like I had to especially work on MC3. That one took like multiple days. I'm pretty sure I'm done with it, but like I might not be. It depends when I get into rewriting it. The next thing I will be working on though outside of school and whatnot. Like the next time I work on the story, I would like to do it in my free time. And the next time I work on it, it will probably be story points. If y'all want to like see how I get story points and whatnot, I'll showcase y'all. Because like the story points are interesting, but that's like the thing that I need to figure out. Because the way the story will work is I like to make it so like there's key story beats that you have to follow, but then everything else is like, yeah, no, like you could start another story right here and it works. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Let me see what I want to do. Actually, no, there is a shout I need to give. Let me find him and then I'll shout it out. I got it. But I want to give a shout out to Chris Tacone and give a second. So to talk to him personally. So everyone else, y'all, go ahead and go. Y'all good. But for you personally, I want to say if you're still watching and you have watched my video still, I don't know if you've been still watching or not. Thank you. I know that it's been a while since I posted, just in general. Like I know recently, as of recording this, I've been posting more often, but even then, I take like a 3 day break at a time. Um, but thank you for staying with me if you're still watching it, and thank you for holding out for as long as I'm recording this. So I would like to say, like I wasn't that lying. Like the videos I mentioned that, oh, I plan to do this. Like no, I have planned to do this a lot. Um, and like I also just like have recorded. Like there has been recordings of me doing it multiple times. It just something went wrong or something like been deleted. In particular, the last 3 times I tried recording this, I used Snapping Tool. Because this was before I had the program that y'all can see me using right now, because it's literally like where my hand is, literally telling you where it is. Um, but I have tried recording multiple times, and like this is one like the newest attempt of me recording it. There's also another time I tried recording with this software, but my mic messed up. So like I have tried recording multiple times. I hope that this video live up to it. I know that it's still very much a video that I made, so it's not the best video in the world, but I hope that it is like to satisfaction. For what you've been waiting on for a while. I also want to say that another reason it took me so long is just because in general, I kind of found like I don't necessarily find recording overwhelming. Why not? It just is too. Like with the new thing going on right now, it's actually very helpful. But like I'm gonna make a video about it. But just to, like say this, like it's not overwhelming per se to record a video. It's just like overwhelming me somewhat to like think of like all the videos I want to make, and then also like all of it, like I don't want to make this video, I want to make that video, and then like also be like, but then I got the time on side, like it's overwhelming to try to organize it, and then I also just find it overwhelming to post. So like this video, I'm gonna let you know, it's recorded on the 23rd. I have no clue when it's gonna be posted, cause I just find it kind of overwhelming to post, especially when like one of the reasons why I don't do like hashtags are way more common now for my short form than my long form as like the hashtag I've ever been for my long form is because it's just less draining to do it. And the reason why they're more like short form content is because of the fact that like it's just kind of less draining on me, but not as like it's not recording itself isn't draining. But yeah, just thank you for being with me. I'm so sorry for such the long time that it took to record this, and I also know it's not perfect. Um, because of the fact that I'm like 95% sure there was times where I just forgot to change the screen over. But uh, if it's just like, oh, you like this, just let me know. If you want more of this, uh, like feel free to let me know too. And if anyone is still here watching this, let me know y'all want more of this because I would like to do more stuff. Um, but yeah, just thank you for watching. See y'all next time. Oh, I did not click in recording yet.